Hi, everyone. This is Gogo. I'm the founder and managing director of Gogo Chin Consulting. Joining me today, we have Teodora Filpovic. Hello, Teodora.
Hi, Gogo. Hi, everyone.
Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. Very excited for this opportunity, but also congratulations, Gogo. I think what you're doing at the moment is fantastic, and I think it's a great way of meeting people, collaborating people, and hearing your thought leadership, but also sharing our experiences. So happy to be here. Thank you.
So Teodora, she is the Chief of Staff at Proximity Insight. And for me, Teodora is a true role model for the art and science of clienteling that I'm passionately believe in and championing constantly. So the reason that I say that, because, for the arts component of it, she has over 20 years of experience in luxury retail, servicing high net worth individual clients, from royalty to VIPs to walk-in customers and to corporate clients. And from which that I met Teodora is in Burberry time that we pioneered Burberry Private Client Global Business together.
Correct. Correct. I mean, I definitely say we can definitely consider ourselves as one of the key founders of clienteling and client development within Burberry. That's for sure.
And the science of it, in addition to all her retail experience, she is a key driver of technology, empowering clienteling. So a key driver of Proximity Insight, a retail clienteling app that's designed to transform how we and retail and hospitality engage with the customers. So the art and science she is.
Definitely something we started off a lot. I mean, at Proximity, we used a lot the art of clienteling, and it's very interesting that you referenced me as a pioneering of the art of clienteling. So I am very honored, and thank you for inviting me and also referencing me like that. So thank you.
Lovely. So Teodora, tell me something people don't normally know about you.
Oh, wow. What people don't know about me. Very good question. I definitely many people try to guess where I'm from. And I think one of the things that people don't know about me is that I am quite private about my personal life, but also I'm very open. So that's a bit about me. I'm born and raised in Portugal, but I'm actually Serbian or Balkan or Yugoslavian. But I left Portugal to pursue my studies here in the UK. I always had a vision of becoming a buyer, and I came to the UK to study retail management. From retail management, thinking that I actually wanted fashion management, because I thought, if you study fashion, it will give you the opportunity to do buying and merchandising, PR and development, PR and marketing, and anything to do with that. And at the time, 20 years ago, fashion management was a very sought out degree. But I couldn't find it. I didn't get into a space to it. So thankfully to my brother, he turned around to me and said, "Why don't you just study retail? Retail covers off everything. It covers off hospitality. It covers off stores, hotel industry, lots of car industry, anything that you'd like." And thankfully to him, I studied retail management. And retail it's definitely evolved a lot along the past 20 years. So, yeah.
Well, I can certainly second to your first comment about being very mysterious but easygoing.
Yes, no, but yeah, that's a little bit about me.
Thank you. Great. So, what are you most proud of, Teodora, in your career or life experience so far?
Oh, all right. Proud of definitely. I'm proud and humbled that that I'm at that. I have experience, and I've come to a stage in my life that basically work-life balance is a key value to myself, and that's what I've achieved of where I am at the moment. So very proud on a personal basis and also on a professional basis. that I can have both worlds, in the sense that, I can travel and work, I can work remotely, I can go into the office. And I think that's, as the world has evolved a lot, I'm very proud that I've worked to it, that I'll actually say that I have a nice work-life balance.
And I have to say that before everyone is talking about working from home, Teodora has been working from home and really truly exemplify being a successful career woman, but also a loving mom to her lovely boys of 2.
Yes. So yeah, I do have, I think for anyone who has children, it's mastering having a family, and making sure that you have some values around that. And it's not just with having a family, it's with work. It entails a lot of commitment. And yes, I'm very, very blessed and happy of where I'm at the moment, on that.
So the next question, high net worth individual clients. So I know that in Burberry time, you were one of the key faces in the corporate team to take care of the royals and beyond. So tell us more about these clients that you touch upon. Who are they, and what do they like?
It's interesting because I think it's funny, because I think at the moment everyone is very for me, I've always been, and always will, and you mentioned that I'm mysteriously looking after clients. It is a big responsibility. It is also something that you carry with integrity and confidentiality. So I looked after many different people, and from different nationalities, from different types of relationships, from different types of needs. So is it that somebody just wanted to have a tour in our stores, or if they wanted to actually have an appointment, or if they wanted to rebuild their whole wardrobe, or if they wanted to do gifting and so forth. It evolved a lot of different types of approaches and relationships. But yes, I think I'm proudly to say, and thankfully also to the opportunities that have arisen, is that the fact that I did look after various different people from various different backgrounds. But I think definitely it would not just be from, I wasn't shop floor based, even though that I did come many times to the stores and spend time in the stores. I think one of the things that I mastered of successfully is creating relationships with my colleagues. And when I said colleagues, it can be from the PR and marketing team, from the events team, from customer service team, from the buying team, and even from our at the time, from our exec level, where we have from the board, people who are on the board. I created those relationships and created opportunities to be able to service them, and to service their needs, but also to represent the brand in the right way.
So how do you transition from working in luxury, retail, and personal shopping to now more on a data and technology part of business?
Ooh, okay. So I had left Burberry, and I was good. I think definitely both of us can say Burberry at the time was providing an MBA for many people who were working at the brand. So you've left a great company with lots of experience and exposure to many different projects, events, and initiatives that the brand was holding, and pioneering retail at the time. Because if you remember, we were a Burberry, again referencing Burberry, they were pioneering Facebook, social, Twitter, event side, the arts of clienteling, the runway to reality. So I had left a corporate role to try to get into something that I can be more closer to something, and something that's more on a more scale up, or kind of more smaller, and an opportunity that can grow into something big. It's kind of a seed and grow. So I came across proximity a couple of years after leaving Burberry, and I thought that the solution was amazing. And I thought, had we had that at Burberry, we would have achieved so much. And I thought, this isn't just for Burberry. This is for small, medium brands. It's for big brands that they don't know exactly what they need, but they need to just capture the basics. That one can just capture basic information, and then you start clienteling. So I kept in touch with the founders. Kathy McCabe, who's our CEO, she's also an ex-Burberry. She is leading the company, and I just thought it was a great opportunity. And her vision of where she wants to push the brand, the company, and provide the service to is it's amazing, and I want to be part of that journey. So being on the technology side, very different. However, as much as it's different, it is still similar. I'm still dealing with people. I'm still dealing with colleagues on the shop floor. I'm still dealing with our teams who work with brands and representatives. So it's very different, but pretty much similar in terms of contextualizing within retail.
It's very true, and nowadays I still work with Teodora to supporting businesses in identifying and improving their clienteling app solutions. So it's still clienteling, but just touch upon different facets of it.
Correct. I think it's the journeys that you kind of create. So yeah, it's everything's humanized and driven by people. So if we haven't been having this conversation, we wouldn't be doing what it is that we're doing.
Totally. And we talk about humanized. So my next question is, what is customer loyalty to you as an individual and to your profession?
For myself, loyalty means that you know something about me, even if it's the basic, even if it's by my first name or last name, or what were my previous requirements, or what I previously bought, or that was my birthday recently. Anything that you know that it's something that belongs to me, for me, that is loyalty, that is represented by the brand. On a professional level, loyalty means is that it's the long run, so that we might have an established relationship, but we are going to be able to grow and cultivate that into something that can flourish into opportunities. So definitely, like, with Proximity Insight, there we're positioned as a clienteling tool, something that the retail super app. And with the retail super app, that's where you're able to touch a lot of what creates loyalty.
Yeah, and I really agree with you about that individual, and also looking at long term, right? So and for proximity, you talk about lifetime value of clients, and I think to a lot of people, lifetime value is quite a new, it's not so familiar terminology. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Of course. I mean, it's funny because in retail, I never knew when I started spending time within a shop floor, ATV, average transaction value, or LTV, lifetime value. Like, you're like, what are these all different terminologies? And it's impressive, because if you capture a little bit of detail about someone, and you look at it and you build upon it, you'll create of what it is that you want. Each brand has a different initiative, right? So some brands might be, it's all about having clean quality data. That means that they just want to capture details of a customer who walks into the retail store. And back in the days, and even I think still some of our retailers out there still use a lot of piece of paper and a pen. And my handwriting is very different to yours. And of course, at the end of the day, the sales associate will be inputting that data into digitalized, so that they can get an outreach or a communication on anything, and you misspelled their name, or it's not the right way because it's not clean. So yeah, I think it's very, very important how you capture any type of data, that you're able to hold it and you're able to nurture it. So I might come into a store and I might buy a jacket, and I never come back into the store again. But if you'd capture my birthday, or if you and within that conversation that I bought that jacket, and you happen to know that it was something that I bought for myself as as a gift, and especially if it's a high ticket item, and that you want to, like, cultivate that, and like, right, she might not be buying it now, but I want her to come back in next year to buy it. But if, for example, you want to buy something or build a wardrobe, the moment you capture one little detail, you're able to build a lot more on it. I think a lot of our customers, they capture a lot of the data, and 67% of that data is responded to. So, like, if it's by email blasts or SMS or text, that is very, very powerful. That means that the customer is very likely to come back within 2 to 3 weeks to purchase something again.
Great. Thank you for that detailed explanation on the potential of a lifetime journey for the clients. So what is your view on the importance of curating memorable human interaction? Like in a world of, there's a lot of technology, there's a lot of digital, experiences as well. Is memorable human interaction still matter?
Always very, very important. It's extremely important. I think when you've asked, well, curating a memorable human interaction, that can be with anyone. That can be within your retail. That can be with your colleagues, your staff, your end customer. It can be just going to the local coffee shop and just buying a coffee. I think it's very important. People experience whatever experience you give to anyone. It has to. Whatever impact it does, it should always be memorable. And for me, definitely, when you're looking after customers, you have to provide the right tools and the right knowledge for that, for your staff to be doing what they need to be doing. It's that expression is happy customer, happy employee, happy customer. It's a simple. And if you provide them, if me as a sales associate, or me as a goal, if I have a goal that I need to achieve something, and if I'm able to have the right tools, then I'll have wind on my back, and I'm going to be able to achieve what I'm supposed to achieve. So it's very, very important that you create a great people experience in order to enable customer experience.
I really like your saying that happy employees bring happy customers. So, you have already mentioned quite a bit about technology and the roles of technology in human interaction. Do you want to add any more about how does that, help technology help to power memorable human interaction, as we talked about all these personal touches and experiences?
So technology, there's a lot of technology out there. There's a lot of technology, and I think within retail, there's a lot of different platforms. But if you provide the right technology, and that it's driven by humans, by us, by humanizing that whole experience, they'll be able to do great things with it. And I'm the first one to opt out if I get an email and it's not personalized to my name, or that it's just very generic. I might have bought something in the department store for a gift, and I'm never going to be likely. I bought it maybe for a child, and I don't have children, and all of a sudden you're bombarding that person with children's wear, and I'm like, I'm not interested in this. So why are you pushing me all this content out? But if that sales associate who serviced me knew that that was just a gift, a one-off gift, they wouldn't be including me into this whole marketing campaigns. And I think having a retail super app for sales associates, and it's something that Proximity does, it definitely enables excellent quality of service that you want to provide within a retail store. And you asked me previously about curating experiences, as also it's giving the ability for any brand representative to represent the brand and curate the way how they outreach to their customers. I think it's a massive opportunity.
So, what is your non-negotiables when it comes to looking after customers?
What is a non-negotiable when looking after customers? Well, you have to listen. In order for you to have a customer, you need to listen. if you need to let them talk. If they're not talking, ask them a couple of questions, evolve in that conversation. I think the key thing and what is non-negotiable is that you're able to talk and represent to a customer, and I think that's very, very key.
And you talk about listen. I think it's that you want to really understand each customer as an individual, right? So you're
Correct.
able to really engage in a meaningful way for that person.
Correct. As I mentioned previously, like, you know, if you have, if I listen to you and you know my right experience, if I'm able to provide you any experience, I have to listen to you, and I capture that detail and I'll put it in the right way. So if that's where you provide excellent quality of service. But non-negotiable, I mean, it's listening and providing exceptional service.
So then, you know, in addition to that, what's one of your most effective customer retention offers or experience that you have done, you know, over your career?
Okay, so I'll share a couple of stories. So one of the stories was and I think I mentioned it, like it's so important to build relationships. It's so important to know your peers and collaborate all the time. And collaborating meaning it can be with your colleagues or even with a customer, is asking those right questions. I mentioned, like, so one of the key successes in my career is that when I was partnering in one of the stores and rolling out clienteling, it was funny because this customer came in and she was asking a couple of questions. I clearly picked up that she was not buying it for herself because she was asking for different sizes, and it didn't fall right. But I kind of assisted the sales associate to be able to help out carry this transaction and also the requests. And little by little, by asking a couple of questions, I realized that she was purchasing for someone else, and it was for a very, very high net worth individual. I think still to date, and I know, especially my time while I was there, I think it was the highest transaction that the store ever took within the stores. So, and it was just by asking, listening, and reacting to exactly what she wanted. And I wouldn't be able to pull it off if I didn't have a collaboration within the colleagues that I had in the stores. And bear in mind, I was not on commission. So so it was one of those opportunities is that, you know, it's in a way, if you collaborate with the stores and listen to your end customer, you're able to find it. So I think that was definitely one of my key success stories that I had, is just listening and also partnering a lot with different departments within the company. So with customer service, they, as you can imagine, they get a lot of issues with items and so forth, but we kind of like I built a relationship with them. It's like, you know, if you hear of anyone who's buying something, 5 of the same items, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're buying it for themselves, but it can be a great opportunity to understand what it is for. Is it a secretary buying a little gift as a corporate order for the board or something like that? It's all about trying to think what opportunities can realize. I'm very much of a dreamer. And I think in any shoes that, or in anyone who's purchasing on the other end, I'm always thinking, what would they want that for? What would they need that for? And I'm trying to put myself in that journey of that customer journey of why they want to be purchasing that. So that's how we kind of also developed that whole corporate sales opportunity. So building on, you know, if anyone who wants to be purchasing something that, you know, they're buying it as a gift, it's also a good way of understanding. Again, I would have not done it if I had not partnered with the right people within the company. So it's all about partnership.
Congratulations. I think I remember that time when you had that big sale and we did celebrate together. It was a big milestone, and you had many milestones in your career. And that's definitely one of those. You demonstrated to retail the power of collaboration and also the power of truly understand and go above and beyond. Like you said, dream big, and you never know what's the potential in front of us.
You never know. And again, like it's always that thing. I'm the first one. So every time I achieve a milestone, is it in my personal life or within my career, I always do something for myself. I always either buy something for myself or I treat something as an experience. And because I always want to go back and reflect that, when I turned 30, I had this. So when I changed jobs, I bought this for myself as a memorable moments where I can look at that piece and I'm like, right, I bought that. I can, is it a piece of art? Is it a bag or is it going for a safari trip? Whatever it is. And I think that's very important, is that anything that you do, make sure the way how your people will remember you, and also what you'll be remembered of.
Thank you so much, Teodora, for this very insightful sharing, opening up the doors of mysterious of you. And our last question is that, as we know that you're going to prepare a delight and surprise offer to one of the lucky community members that watch this video. So would you want to share what that is?
So I believe, I mentioned the retail super app, and I kind of hope that whoever's been listening, as that intrigues you of understanding or wanting to know what the retail super app is. So as a little surprise, I'd love to join you and your brand, along with GoGo, or however you'd like, the opportunity to create what it is, your customer journey, that you want to provide for your customers. And it doesn't need to be just customer journeys. It can be your employees. So if it's an associate journey that comes into a retail store for their day-to-day job, how does that look like? What is it they need to achieve? I'm happy to create that and create a discovery session of creating a memorable retail experience by using our retail super app.
Sounds very exciting. So here is the Proximity Insight website. So feel free to check that out and reach out to me if you want to speak with Teodora. And we will arrange that for you. So thank you so much again, Teodora, for your time today and for your insight with the community and championing the curating human interaction and make it memorable together.
Thank you. Thank you, GoGo. Thank you for everyone who's watched it. Thank you for the opportunity.